All right. It looks like most people are here. There might be a few people trickling in. Um, but I'll do our little introduction first while the rest of us are getting here, and then we can start off. So hello there. I'm Jordan Stobie. I'm Executive Director for Pandion Music Foundation, and Anai is here as well, Programs Director. Um, I'll just give a little background on Pandion for anyone who is new to our organization. We are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit that equips emerging music creators around the world with tools to help foster more equitable, attainable, and sustainable music careers. And we're based in Los Angeles, but most of our programs are all online. So we help a diverse audience of music creators all around the world. And we're helping to grow a more inclusive industry by providing free weekly online workshops and wellness initiatives that connect independent musicians with leading professionals. So workshops like these, which we hold once a week on Wednesdays, usually at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we bring on different professionals in the music industry and allow them to have a platform to share their expertise with emerging artists. So we're really excited to have the women from What Up Pitches with us here today to talk about mastering relationships and navigating trends in music licensing, which is a question we get a lot and very important in a music career, I think, to know how to make a network for yourself and find those connections that will help you amplify your own career. Um, and I'll give a little background on What Up Pitches so that everybody knows. What Up Pitches is a multicultural women-owned music production house and music licensing company that's based in Los Angeles and Chicago, specializing in placing music in ads, TV, and film. And the WUP team creates custom music for all media platforms and represents a boutique catalog of indie artists for sync placement. Their recent prestigious placements include Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Fox, NFL, VH1, MTV, the CW, and brands such as Hennessy, Meta, Aetna, Maker's Mark, and Kraft Heinz. So yeah, an amazing list of companies that you've all worked with and helped music get placed in advertising and TV and film for. And then before we get started, I also want to add that we have a little survey that we are running through Zoom, which you'll notice will pop up at the end of this call. So when we all say goodbye, it will automatically bring you to our survey that we're running. And we would really appreciate if anyone has the time to go through and do that survey for us. It really helps us a lot as we're trying to kind of track who our audience is, and it helps us better serve you all. So that would be much appreciated if you can do that. Just takes a few minutes. Um, and we can get started. So hello, everyone. Thanks
Hi.
for being here. And Celia, are you gonna lead or all, I think, is Pepe here yet as well?
I'm not sure if Pepe's here yet, or Murray. Maybe you can check if she's coming. I haven't checked, but yeah, I can chat, and then Murray can
Cool.
chime in whenever she's ready. But I can yeah talk about just do you want me to just start talking about connecting or
Yeah, if you want to give, if I missed any information about what it pitches, you can feel free to fill in, or if you're working on anything specific right now, that would be great to start off. Yeah.
yeah yeah. So no, it was great introduction. Thank you. Um, right now, I mean, we're working on, well, amongst ourselves, we have a custom project that we're working on in-house. And then we do have some briefs that have come in for that we can pitch indie artists for, so we can share those in a little bit. And yeah, I want to talk a little bit about connecting, since that was one of the main, networking. And my first thing to bring up is when you have a Zoom call like this. Well, the main thing is showing up. Like, the fact that you all are here is wonderful, right? You just need to keep showing up. Um, and being there, and then you get to know the people that you want to get to know. But one thing I always notice is when we have these Zoom calls, there are some people who I can look at your name and I can see who you are, and I can put a name with a face, right? And some of you have not only put your name, but you've even put like at whatever, like maybe your Instagram handle or something. Kudos to you guys. And so just something to think about. Like a few of you, it might just say your initials, or it might just say like iPad or blah blah. And so just to keep that in mind as like a small, professional thing to start off with, just to make a good first impression. Um, and yeah, and just to remember that like when you are showing up, you don't have to show your video, but if you're brave enough to do that, I understand sometimes I don't feel like showing my video. Then be there professionally, right? Know that we see you. I mean, enjoy your meal, go for that. But just just little things. Because I do notice. I tried to put a name together with a face and think, oh my God, like have I heard their music before? Where have I met them before? And so that is something that is happening. So I just want you all to be aware of that. Um, and then a few other thoughts. So this week we've gotten some emails and some people who have reached out to us again. And I got this really nice email from somebody the other day, and it was very simple. And it was like, hi, this is my stuff. Here's 2 links. I hope you like it. I can look it up to share more what she wrote, but it was very professional, very concise, clear. It was a disco link, and that was great. And so I clicked on it and I listened, and I shared with the team, and they're like, yeah, you can sign those, because they fit on something, that a reality TV show that we're working on now. They're really upbeat, really clean, professionally done. And then I was emailing her back to say, we'll sign these. And I realized, okay, this person has actually emailed us 3 times before. And I wasn't there when I think she met maybe someone else at an event. Um, but her emails were always really nice and really professional. And that's just something to keep in mind. Like the fact that, okay, we were busy these last few months, like we didn't get around to it. But here she is showing up again. And, this time I have time to check it out, and it's good timing, right? And that's part of it too. Like this happened recently with our friend Jason, who we've signed some of his stuff before, Jason Turner. And he'd sent a few tracks like a month ago, and I was like, we don't need these, they don't fit anything right now, but I'm gonna get back to you if I think of something. And so we didn't sign them. And then I was just checking, and I realized that actually I wound up signing one in another way, because a few weeks later a brief came in. I reached out to a few people who I knew could create songs in that sound, and he happened to have a song that he sent, and I was like, okay, let me sign this. I pitched it at the top of a playlist, and it was downloaded by the music supervisor. And I just was looking back through emails today, and I noticed that that was one of the songs he had pitched to me a month ago that I said no to. So you really just never know, right? I mean, and he didn't make a stink of it like, oh man, why didn't you sign my song? He wasn't a jerk about it. And so, of course, we want to support him and sign his work. And I think that's the main thing to get across, is that we want to support artists. We really do. And sometimes it's not the right timing, and we're overwhelmed, and it's not the right sound that we need at that time. It doesn't mean it's not a great song. So just keep showing up and keep creating new songs. And then you can pop back into our inbox and say, hey, I've just released, or I have this new track. You can even send us something that's unreleased. Sometimes we get requests that are for unreleased tracks, and say, do you like this one? And then, maybe I'll go back and check out the others. And that's actually, what's happening right now with some folks. So just wanted to share that to start us off.
I love that. I was going to ask maybe if people want to put in the chat if you are unfamiliar with sync licensing, because we might want to go over that a little bit if anyone here is new to sync licensing first. I think a lot of this will apply just generally to music careers. And even if you're not in sync licensing, or if you're new to sync licensing, I think this connection building, network building can be applicable to a lot of things. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And the other thing, just professionally, because we've also gotten an email recently from somebody who their catalog is great. Like they have a lot of professional work. Um, and they sent SoundCloud links, and that's fine. But when I'm clicking on the link, I realize the ads pop up, and it just drives me crazy. I'm like, I don't want to spend those 20 seconds waiting. So just little things to keep in mind, because also there were so many songs in there, and I just didn't, I was overwhelmed. Like I didn't know what to listen to. And so I'm like, I put it on the back burner because I don't know what to do with it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If you can research and be like, I think these are what they're looking for now. You don't always know, but send 3 songs, and if you can send it in just a streamable link that's like a disco, real crafter, or a box link, that's great because then we don't have to deal with ads. None of that stuff comes up. And don't ever send attachments because this person then also I they sent an attachment after, and I'm like, I have to delete this email just so you're aware, because we're normal people and we can't keep all the attachments. We have to keep our inbox down, right? So that's important to keep in mind.
We've got a good question from Christina
Sure.
asking, says that your site, and a lot of sites say this, that unsolicited emails are not welcomed. So how would you recommend getting in contact with someone that has that on their website?
Yeah, that is a great question. So I think showing up. Like we said, once we have made a connection, and if you can say, I heard you speaking at this event, or my friend recommended I reach out. Um, it's okay then. It's not like it's kind of to keep a lot of the people away who are just going to spam us and who aren't going to be professional and who don't know what we need and how to professionally deliver that.
Great, that's good to know. Yeah, I think that that's kind of a gray area sometimes. It's like, what is technically an unsolicited email versus when do you have that in? That's good to, I think, good to
And
keep
just
that in mind.
Yeah, and just to add to that, if you do email, please send a link where we can clearly listen to the music. It is a waste of your time to send us an email and just to ask us how we're doing and say, "Can I send you my music?" Just don't do that. So send a link, and then if we can check it out, then that way we can don't let that be a link that can expire. Because what if 6 months from now we're like, "Oh wait, I remember that song with that whistling. That was awesome. I want to hear it again."
Cool. Tara has a question. I think they're asking about standard contracts and how often does the artist collect the publishing? And then what types of songs are you seeking currently?
Yeah, so we're not a publisher, so we don't collect on the publishing side at all. We are just commission based, so we only sign songs that we love and we feel can be successful so that we can pitch them, and then we make our commission when we get a placement. And we offer both non-exclusive contracts and exclusive deals depending on what the person wants and what makes the most sense, and if we feel confident that we can pitch it a lot.
Great. I think we've got some more here. And everyone feel free to raise your virtual hand if you want to come on and speak. Um, okay, yeah, someone else was asking about non-exclusive versus exclusive, which is a question we get a lot, and what your experience with that is.
Yeah, that's it is a hard one because we come to this as artists, so we experienced, signing our own songs with different agencies, both exclusive and non-exclusive. I've tried different deals, and it really does evolve. I feel like there definitely are some music supervisors who don't want us to send them songs that are non-exclusively signed because they don't want to get songs from a bunch of different people and have to deal with that. That's so there's that. But then there's a lot who you all know, are there's a lot of different agencies that sign non-exclusively, and so it is something that we have both because we want to be fair to the artists and we want to. But I do think that if you are going to sign your song to more than one agency, just try to be aware of who's pitching to what, if you can, just by looking at their Instagram, seeing what their past placements are, and realizing like if they're both doing the same, then maybe your song doesn't need to be in those same ones. Maybe it should be in another agency that's more focused on something different, or just to kind of keep in mind where your songs are and not to spread them too thin.
Great. Um, so Carrie's asking about ads and how they paid to take ads off their WordPress site. I was wondering if um, for the pro level on SoundCloud, if that's possible, or any of those music streaming platforms, if you can pay to get the ads taken off. I'm
I
not sure
don't,
if you've had experience with that, but
yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I will say that if you don't want to pay for Real Crafter or Disco, um, there's Box and it's free. They just deceive you when you go to the website. It always shows up as pay for the business one, but you just have to click over to the left. I remember, unless this has changed in the last year, and then there's a way to get the free version for individuals. It probably has like a limited amount for uploading, but I remember that always looking confusing, and I'm like, why are they're because they want you to pay. But there's a way to do that for free, and then you can just send a streamable link with a few songs.
yeah, I think that,
Box.com. Thank you, Marie. Yeah.
yeah, cool. Great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think most of those streaming platforms have some kind of free version. Yeah.
That's how I
Um,
started out before I got disco. Yeah.
yeah, cool. Angelina was asking how we find out what music you need or other agencies need for current projects. That's if you have any tips on that.
Yeah, for sure. So there is some stuff that we're looking for now, that we can let you all know about. So how about you grab a pen or a pencil while I pull it up? Let me see. Um, okay, so one thing is for just, and this is a general one, which is good. And in general, is reality TV shows. There's a show that we're pitching for now, but we're going to be pitching again for other shows soon. Um, so this one, just upbeat, I think upbeat pop, um, fun stuff. I mean, sort of look at the reality TV shows that are out there, and then listen. Go to tunefind.com and listen to what they're using, and you'll get an idea of what that is. Um, for those, yes, I know drum roll. Okay, sorry guys. Let me see. Okay, so that's one. Aside from that, um, okay, so we need some songs that are going to kick off episodes, so they need to have energy and momentum. They're going to be upbeat pop rock R&B songs, and I'm going to give you some reference tracks for this. Okay, Magic Motion is a reference track. I don't actually know the artist offhand. I'd have to look. I don't know, Marie, if you know. Lucky Me or The Good Life. I can look and see. Oh, no, wait, it does say. Yep. Magic Motion is by Joy Pageant and Beatty, Beadie. Lucky Me is by Izzy Harlow. The Good Life is by Fire Choir. So that's a few of them. They also said that it could have more vibey, laid back songs that still have energy. So that could be something like It's All Good by Rachel West and Izzy Harlow. So, all right, let me check back in. You guys doing okay? All right. We also could use some powerful building songs that kind of start from a small place but really build up to the end. And they can be both positive or dark, because there's lots of different moments. Some are happy and sad, some are, devastating. So they also really like when it has a big build, but then it returns to the end to like a calm moment at the very end. So keep that in mind. All right, so some examples here are Fade Away by LA5 and AG. Another example is the song Known by The Dramatics. Okay. Another example is Count on Me by Emmett Fenn, Emmitfenn. Cool. I'm not checking the chat or anything, so let me see what's happening. You guys are good. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, let me go back to where I was. Okay, so, all right, we also just need some singer-songwriter tracks. So this can range from upbeat to more melancholy. They can also feature build here, but they don't have to necessarily. So some examples here are We Only Go in One Direction by Texada, Texada. Another example is Changes by the Careful Ones. All right. Okay. So aside from that, we could use some songs um, with tension to kind of play in these montages. So um, let's see. In the past, they've used songs such as Head and My Heart by Ruel and AG. They've used Owner of a Lonely Heart by M. Sherman and C. Saint and AG. So those are some examples. I'll give you a second. I know I'm speaking fast here. Okay. Last is some general melancholy songs. So these can be, let's see, doesn't have to have much build, just, okay, I'm going to give you some examples of these. So example is In Between featuring Matt Berninger, Berninger. And that's by Wildernado. It's spelled Wilderado. Okay. And then one other example could be Tend, Tend is the song title. And that's by Gem Club, Gem Club. There you go. So those are some songs that we currently need. Okay. And
If you want to, we could listen to like a little snippet of a couple of them just so people can start to think about what songs they might have similar to those.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. Otherwise, we can keep going if there's.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can probably listen on their own.
Okay. Great.
But I mean, it's fine too if there's one that you want to choose, then we can talk about what makes it great. But I think when you guys will listen to it, you'll kind of realize what makes it work for different shows. You know, a lot of these songs just are really clean. They have really big build, but then they bring it back to intimate moments because those editorial points are important to have for a lot of these shows. And they're just
Someone asked if there's a deadline.
Yeah, there is for these particularly. We would need to have them in our catalog by Sunday.
So we'll share a link now before Sunday. We need them ASAP so we can start listening to them, but you can also just send them later if you don't have them right now. This is something that we're gonna need constantly. Yeah. So I'll just share a link. Is that cool for you to like submit songs there?
That'd be great. Thank you.
And yes, but for this, yeah, I would say maybe deadline. What's today? Wednesday. Deadline Friday. Just get us morning Friday, then we can have some time to make sure because we don't want to have to be stressed over the weekend.
Yeah. And just on the ad side of things, we've been hearing a lot, getting a lot of requests of K Tronada. I don't know if you guys have heard of K Tronada. This is how you spell it. Really cool vibe. And yeah, just something we've been getting lots of requests for. So if you want to check that out, see what they're doing, and if anyone is more into like ad music on that side of things, it's coming up a lot.
Yeah.
Are instrumentals accepted for this, or is it more vocal music?
For this, it's vocal music.
Yeah, vocals.
Yeah.
You should still send the instrumental, like when you submit to us, like on the link that you share, the streamable link, add the instrumental along with the vocal one. But in general, what it pitches, we're an agency, we pitch a lot of vocal tracks. Like people come to us, our clients, they usually are looking for vocal tracks along with the instrumental, and the instrumental should still work well on its own. But yeah, definitely more on the vocal side for us.
Yeah. So that's something important to keep in mind when you're creating a song, to always make sure you get a mastered version of the instrumental track from your producer so that you have that ready to go. Because if we sign your song, we are going to ask for that in order to bring it to our catalog. Yeah.
And that's another reason if anyone here hasn't looked into Disco yet, we recommend Disco as a way to send your tracks over to agencies like What Up Pitches, because they have a really great platform for organizing your tracks. So you can make a playlist that actually has like the main track at the top and then the instrumental below, and it's very clear and concise and easily streamable through those links. So I'll put
They give us a discount of some sort. I can't remember what it is, but I dropped it in case you don't have disco. Those are for people who would just start, or it's a trial or something, but I know there's some sort of discount there.
Great, thank you. That's helpful. Awesome.
Yeah. What else?
Let's
It's
see.
submitting for other briefs. Is there a conflict? What do you mean? What do you mean? You mean like for that submitting to that link?
So let's do this for that link. Let's do top 3 songs. Like from everything that we've said, choose the top 3 briefs that you think you match the best with and send 3 songs inside of one streamable link. And there's a comment section, so you can tell us there what you're pitching to which of the briefs you're pitching to. If you have more songs or if there are other briefs you would like to pitch to, just add it in the message there. And if we like what the 3 that you sent, we'll ask for more, right? But for now, it's like, send us your top 3 and make them be amazing, because we won't be able to go through 5-10 songs from each person, and it's gonna get a little crazy. So top 3, and then we'll see if it's exclusive or not. That's something that we decide against, like Celia said. It depends on if we're gonna be able to pitch it a lot, and if it goes with what we represent as exclusive or not.
And that's your decision too, right? That's an option you can choose.
If we offer you exclusive, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Someone else asked about tags in Disco, or just tags in general. I think other platforms allow you to do that as well, but do you use that, or would you rather artists put in actual descriptions of the songs?
Both.
Cool. Yeah, and that's a pretty simple process on Disco, I know as well. They give you that option to add tags, and there's a comment section that will be there's like a private notes section that whoever you're submitting to won't see, and then there's like a comment section that is visible to anyone that you're sending the link to. So make sure you're putting descriptions in the right place when you do that. Let's see if there's other questions. Does anyone want to hop on and ask a question face to face? This is a good chance to speak directly to Celia and Marie. Marcus has a question. Awesome. I'm going to unmute you.
Yes, Celia Marie, thank you for doing this. Do you work in trailers at all?
Yes.
And
what are you looking for on the trailer side?
Just the trailer sound. No, that would be great, actually. That's something we are looking for. If you can add that to the list of things we're looking for. It can be like hip hop and driving, or in general, like there's so much going on in trailers. It's just a lot of edit points, hopefully, that you have in your tracks, and like both vocal, I'd say just vocal with a great instrumental is key. We know they use a lot of the instrumental for trailers, but sometimes they'll want a little vocal part or like a hook to add to it.
Thank you. Originals and covers, or only originals?
Both. Yeah.
Okay. Same with songs also. You do cover songs? Do you represent?
Yeah, but mostly if it's for that, for like a trailer as
okay.
it would be great. Yeah.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. We don't pitch covers as often as we would think we would. We're not asked for them that often, but for trailers, it's more common.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Thanks, Marcus. Good question. Carrie's got a question as well. I'll unmute you, Carrie.
Oh yes, I recently try to use my words well here. I recently came upon a media company looking for music, and let's see, my note is sometimes they want, you kind of touched on this, made my brain react. Do a lot of the companies want non-released music versus released?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So we get asked for both. Right now, we're asked for, actually, oh, that's a really good point, which I didn't bring up. For this particular brief, they are requesting that the songs be recently either unreleased or recently released within the last year. So keep that in mind for this particular one. And if it's not falling under those categories, please, so please let us know in the notes, actually, if the song is unreleased or if it was recently released within the last year. And then if it's not, then, you know, it's still something we can consider for other briefs and for other pitches.
So do you prefer the non-released or the released?
Well, I mean, for us, it really doesn't matter typically, to be honest. It's just sometimes for shows they'll request that the song is unreleased. So in that sense, it gives you that chance of, okay, you know, I have this song, I wrote it 3 years ago, but it's still unreleased, so I could pitch it for this. But on the other hand, you know, if you release the song and it gets traction, then someone can notice it, and it's good to see, oh, it's already got 100,000 streams. That can benefit if it's like up for an ad or something. So
What
Go
what I always say is you need both. You need to have both. You're releasing songs and you're always creating new songs, hopefully. So you'll always have both options available, unreleased and released music. So both are good is the answer. And then Christina, you were saying for which brief? Celia's talking about it's really not one brief. It's one show that needs a lot of these songs. So it's the songs that she mentioned, these 5 things. It's the energy and momentum song, upbeat. That's one. The one that we need to build towards the end, singer-songwriter, the tension, and the melancholy sadness.
Yeah, all of them.
That's the one show, and they need newish songs, so this year or unreleased.
Yeah.
But like I said, in general, we need that type of stuff. So just, it's okay. Just let us know when it was released or if it's unreleased,
Let us know.
and
That's
we'll
all.
go from there. Because it's
Right, that's what,
too complicated if you.
that's one thing that the company was saying, like, they mostly wanted non-release, but if it's coming up, they're trying to see if you can have your release date the same day.
Sure.
You send it to them or something like that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah, just don't worry about it. I feel like,
I
again,
know, I'm just trying
always
to get clarity on this situation I have, so.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
sure, sure, sure.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Um,
There's a few more questions in the chat now.
yeah. So any preference between male or female vocals? No, I don't think there's a preference actually. Either's great. If a song only had vocalese, oohs, ahs instead of lyrics, would it count as a vocal track? No, it wouldn't. If you take a song, where does it go? Into a folder that said, you said that you could go back to it. Maybe when I said I could go back to it, maybe that was if you emailed us a link. What I meant was I can go back to my old email, check out that link and be like, oh, I wanted to hear that song again to consider. But once we sign a song, then we'll send you a separate link to officially bring it into our catalog. So at that point, then we'll upload the song and the instrumental version into our disco library and do all the meta and logo and all that. So then we can pitch it. But until that point, we won't pitch it.
Tara had a question about, it looks like non-exclusive contracts, which I've heard other people ask this as well, asking about how to avoid double submissions. So if you have the same song sent to a few different agencies, how do you deal with that exactly?
Just sign it with one. We don't deal with it. The music supervisor deals with it. And it's not great because then they don't know who they need to reach out to because they're getting it from different people, from different sources, and they're like, you know what, I can't deal with this. I'm gonna choose a different song and plays that song. So that's why we say, like, be careful. Even if it's non-exclusive, just don't send it to everyone and sign it to everyone, because then it's bad for you, and of course it doesn't help us when we're pitching that song.
And just to understand, so I mean, if they're sending it to different agencies, they'll know if the agency responded and said, I want to sign the song, and if they've signed the contract, right? Then it's signed. But if that process hasn't happened, your song is not signed, at least with us. I mean, be careful. There are agencies out there that I don't, I've heard some stories, I'll say, of agencies pitching someone's song before it actually being signed, and that's not cool. So that should be a warning. If you hear your song on TV and you didn't sign it to them, that's not good. So.
Someone was asking about swagger rock or alt indie rock, and if that's needed for sync. If you ever see that in briefs?
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Let's see.
Someone asked about the budget. Do
Yeah.
you know the budget range on these songs? You mean on these, I don't know, these songs, but yeah, so generally TV shows, if it's going to be a reality TV show, it's a 1,000 all in.
Around 1,000.
Yeah, around.
There.
Exactly. It can be 1,000 to 10,000 is sort of the range. There are some shows that we have to put in buckets at 1K and know that that's what they have to be pre-cleared at. So there's no like back and forth negotiating that. That's just what it is. And then there's other shows where maybe it's 2 or 5, it also depends on the spot that the song gets. And that's TV. Sorry, I didn't say. For ads, it's going to be 10 and up, 10,000 and up
It
usually.
depends also if it's like a known brand.
that's true.
It's all over the place. So
Yeah, it's all over. It depends if it's just online or if it's right.
and
So,
regarding commissions, legally we can't talk about it, but that's something that if you are signing a song, and again, it's different between exclusive and non-exclusive. So if we're sending you an agreement, you'll be able to see and decide.
yeah.
Do you tend to place more music for ads, TV, film? Like, what's the most commonly placed area?
I think more commonly for us is TV.
Cool. Yeah, I always wonder kind of how much,
Yeah.
what the percentages are, like what people are looking for the most exactly. Yeah.
That can
June-
change, but at the moment. Go ahead, Marie.
All in means there are 2 sides, the publishing and the masters. That means both sides. So let's say they're giving us 2,500 per side, then that's 5,000 all in.
Yeah. So there's the different pieces. There's the master side of the song, and then there's the writer and publishing side of the song. That makes it that piece of the pie collected by your performing rights organization. So you're either with ASCAP or BMI or someone else. And then there's the master side. So when we say it's one stop, it means that you can control and have the rights to clear off on both sides, right? The publishing writer side as well as the master side.
They're asking what all in means. That's all.
I know. I just expanded.
Oh.
I just
Because
like, well, if they're asking that, I don't know. I figured I should make sure that that's clear. I don't know why. Whatever.
Okay. All in means both sides.
Thank you.
Great. Do you have any other like no-nos you can give to people, things to avoid when they're submitting or when they're reaching out to people, try to make connections with agencies? Anything else that comes to mind?
I mean, a few of the things I said earlier, like don't send attachments. Try not to be mean.
Don't be
So
mean.
that's
don't
an
be
easy one for
mean.
people.
I don't know. Like that's it, right? Like we said, there were examples of these people reaching out again, but in a nice professional way.
Yeah.
And that's great. Like we totally understand and respect that. So I think that's the answer. It's not saying, hey, why didn't you listen to my thing? Right?
Don't take it personally. It's not us not listening. It's a lot of things, a lot of factors, but just be kind.
If anyone else, oh great, Jen's got a question or a comment.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Silly. Hi, Marie.
Hey, Jen.
Hi. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
I just want to have a question. Did you just the link you gave us, the Airtable link? I just sent 3 songs in the playlist, but did you say 2 songs?
No,
3,
three.
you're good.
Okay, phew. I just didn't want to overstep.
You're
I
great.
sent All right, thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jen. Nice,
You're
Jen's
good.
on it.
I
Already
know.
sent it over.
And by the way, guys, Jen just showed up at our Wub It Up event that we had in Chicago. Came out there, was all in, was amazing, and did a co-writing session with our Crafting the Tune. And I don't know, can we share like a tiny clip of that?
Oh
Would you,
yeah,
would you be
definitely.
okay, Jen? If we can we share that, Marie? No, no, you don't want to.
Oh no.
I'm asking
You don't
Marie.
want to of the song that they
Yeah, of her song.
Yeah, we can share it.
Like a tiny clip. Is that cool? Can you do share sound and share? I just want everyone to hear what came out of that Crafting the Tune because, right, Jen, like it's really good, isn't it? It's so fun. It's so fun. I love
Julia,
it.
how often do you run those events? Do you have somewhere that people can keep up to date when you're running the next one?
Yeah, so we are not sure right now when our next one's going to be. We're really focused right now on cleaning up our catalog, on pitching, on doing some other work. So to be honest, I don't have a date set for the fall right now. We're gonna let people know when
I
we
think
do. So
just go to our website and scroll all the way down to sign up for the mailing list, and we'll let you guys know when we have other events. Also, like when we do listening fiestas, and panels or anything like that. That's what you're gonna receive that.
Awesome.
So yeah, and Jen's an example of like showing up. Like we've heard. Oh, sorry. Oh, you can. I didn't know if it would mess up with my voice. I was just gonna say an example of showing up again, right? Like we've seen you, we've met you before at events, and we've heard your stuff. And like it wasn't that we don't love your stuff. I just couldn't figure out, what to pitch it for. But then you show up and created this song, which I mean, we can pitch a ton. And then like I've heard other stuff of yours that I absolutely love. So just, anyways.
All right, I'll share a little bit of it.
I'm a little closer, gotta do my thing. Funny little story when they talk about me. FYI, I'm so nice. For your information, it's about that vibe. You can see me now. You can see me now. You can see me now. 'Cause I'm a copyright.
Bam!
Awesome. That was great. Oh my gosh, such a good song.
So
Good
good.
job, Jen. That was so much fun.
And Jen came up with it, that copyright line, right, Jen? That was all you.
So how do those co-writing sessions usually go? If just so people can know what to expect if they want to go to one.
Sure, yeah. So, well, with the Crafting the Tune, which is for professional songwriters and producers who, we know are good at what are talented, and can bring something solid to the table. We put together teams, and so there's a lot of thought that goes into that. Jen was teamed up with Nick Phelps, as well as Cinder, who couldn't come; couldn't make it. And then Maria, I forget Maria's last name, but she's the one who sang on there. And so, yeah, just putting together these teams of songwriters with a great producer, and then just knowing what their vibe is and what might work. And we try to do our best to make them cohesive so that we come up with great songs. So that's our that's the Crafting the Tune one. We also have the Borellis co-write.
So what happens at Whup It Up is that we bring a music supervisor in and they share their briefs, something that they need currently. So they give them a brief at the beginning of the day and people go out and write for a few hours. And then at the end, the music supervisor comes in and listens to the track and gives each group feedback, or, then we hear from the music supervisor and they receive the track at the end. And I know like Jen's song was like pitched, like the music supervisor was super excited about it, and we're still waiting to hear back, but like things move from that, and you meet a lot of people, and I know at least a lot of people are motivated to like write and collaborate and do a lot of that.
Yeah, Jen, did you want to add anything? I know that you can't unmute yourself, but can I unmute you? That's to unmute.
Yeah, just sit there. Are you able to unmute now, Jen? You should see a little pop-up.
Yeah.
There.
Well, I wanted to tell all the people here, don't underestimate yourself when you go into these things. Like, people might judge you because of the way you look, how old you are, or how you know, a difference you might have. But I went into it scared that people wouldn't accept me, and they really accepted me, and we came up with a really great song. So I just want to encourage everyone here that wants to do this to keep going, because it's worth it, and you matter and you're important.
Oh, Jen, love.
Thanks, Jen.
Beautifully.
Yeah, so important.
So yeah, I mean, you guys, like, we come to this as artists ourselves. I mean, I am fairly new to the syncing myself. You know, I only started learning about what sync licensing was maybe 7, 8 years ago. And before that, I was just, you know, doing my thing. And then I was curious how to get my own songs into TV film. And so I went down the rabbit hole of learning about the business side and learning how it worked and showing up and then meeting people that I could work with. And so I think that's key, and that's what's great about like crafting the tune or just coming to these events is you meet other collaborators and other people that become, you know, that you can work with and that can kind of become your part of your team, your support network too.
Yeah, and that's so huge because I think, some people feel like they have to do everything in order to make a song, and you really don't have, like, you can have one specific thing that you hone and you're really good at, and then you just find a team of other people that do those other things and you piece it together, and it really works.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Amanda had her hand raised.
yeah, also, Amanda, I'm not seeing Amanda.
It
I
says
see
Amanda.
her.
Oh, cool.
How you doing? I just want to say, ladies, I'm from New Zealand, and so I don't really get to network the same as everyone else. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this morning. Thank you very much, and just want to thank you for everything. And what I've just recently done is I've been writing music for quite a while, but I've pulled all my songs off. I'm just going to start on kind of a blank canvas and really try get my production up. I am one of these people that's doing it all myself because I haven't quite found the collaborators yet. But yeah, so I might send maybe one. I've got down to one song. It's like I've had 20 or I don't know, maybe 50 songs. I've just pulled them all. So I'm just gonna try and get them to more radio quality. But what's one thing that you feel about the instrumentation, and if you've got a minute, the lyrics? I know it's a very tricky question, that you think makes a song, like the instruments harmonizing really well, that makes it a good song? I know that's real hard.
Question. I think it's just like how is it standing out? Because it can be so many different things, but if you keep it on its own, is it catching you right from the beginning? I feel like that's one of the main questions, because
Good
that's
point.
it. You hit play and it's like, am I saying like, ooh, that's interesting, I've never heard that before. So
Yeah,
fun little sounds that you can add, ear candy, that adds a lot to.
and the first 8 counts, pretty much, or 16.
Yeah, if it's gonna be, you know, if it's more of a melancholy song, then maybe it's the lyrics that have to draw you in those first 8 counts, right? Or maybe it's something in the feeling of the. But otherwise, if it's for ads, it's upbeat, then yes, it's gonna be some sort of ear candy or some sort of way you say things that's different.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Have it change every 4 bars, something like that. Have something different come in or take.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
The real key and what made it change for me, because I sort of came to it with a bunch of albums of work, and then I did what you're doing, which is I started over. I put everything aside that I created over 20 years, and then I just started over. And I started creating with new people, and then I started listening because I hadn't, I thought, oh, my songs are great. And it's not that they weren't; they were produced, great, but they might not have been great for what I was trying to pitch it for. So you have to research and listen, for what it is that you're trying to aim for. If you have a show in mind, you think, oh, my songs would fit on this show. What are they actually playing on that show? And
jump back
into producer ears and think, okay, well, that's going there. Put your song next to it and listen. Is it the same?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to do more of that comparison. But I just want to reach out and say hi. I will be in contact, but it may be a little while. But
thanks,
I have reached out before.
No
Yeah,
worries.
So
if I ever
thanks
make
for
it
your
to New
patience.
Zealand, I'll look you up.
All right.
Stay in the
Bucket
business.
list.
Stay there for a while.
Yeah.
All right. Tim, I
Thank you
think
so
we
much for
have,
today. Anything else I can help you with at all?
we're good. We're just here hanging out.
Nice.
right.
It's 6 a.m. here, 7 in the morning.
We might have time
Tim,
for one
I
more.
think,
I
has
just
a
wanted
question.
to, yeah, just Tim. I
Thank
wanted to
you.
say from Pepe that she said she's sorry she couldn't join, but yeah, we are working on a custom project right now and she's producing it right now and we're hoping to send it soon. So she just couldn't be here, but Pepe's awesome. So you can chat with her later.
Yeah. Mm.
Great. Tim, I'll unmute you. We just got a couple minutes left, so let's try to be quick with this last one.
Hey, thanks. This is awesome, super helpful, and good to meet you all. My question, if we have time, it's a two-parter. The first one kind of piggybacks on Amanda's, but can you talk about like the importance of having dynamics in music, like upbeat parts that then go into quieter parts, how important that is? And then the last question is, What Up Pitches is such a freaking great name. How did that come together?
Okay, cool. Well, so thank you. The dynamics, yes, that's very important. It's important because of, like we said, the editing. So they're going to jump around, they're going to want to edit. So, just have, I think someone at our last event was talking about this and giving a good suggestion of having a sound that maybe keeps going throughout, but in a different way. Like say you have a cool hook and then maybe it's a bass line or, whatever it is, you can play it again with a different instrument or with a different sound. And so that hook is really, it's really bringing them in but in different instruments, different ways. And then just dropping out because, they're going to need to cut. So if you don't give them space to do that, right? So that helps. And don't have a fading out ending, like just a stinger ending is really good too. And yeah, our name, I think it was just a late night trying to brainstorm fun names and came up with something that sounded good. And we were like, you know what? This feels right. Going to go with it. But, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Cool. Well, we're just at the end of our time. So thank you everybody for showing up today, as the theme of today seems like showing up was a big one. So thanks for coming and being present and taking notes and asking questions. And thank you to Celia and Marie for giving your insight on the world of sync and what you do every day. Yeah, it was so helpful. So thank you for sharing with everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you all. Thank you for having us. And we'll hope to see you all around.
Definitely. And everybody, make sure you keep up with What Up Pitches and sign up for their mailing list. And don't forget about that survey at the end of this call as well.
Amazing. Have a good one, everyone.
Yay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
See you soon.